Hello everyone, welcome back to Apex Coasters, and today I'm going to be talking about the B&M dive coaster. So the B&M dive coaster originally started with Oblivion at Alton Towers. Now Oblivion at Alton Towers goes to the rule at Alton Towers. You can't build rides above the trees. So Oblivion is actually only 65 feet tall with a drop of 180 feet. So Oblivion drops straight down into this thingy. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I do know Oblivion is an extremely fun ride. It also does feature the one-of-a-kind Enterprises that are actually extremely rare in the world, as you can see right here. So it wraps around that. So another dive coaster I want to talk about is actually Valravn at Cedar Point, because Valravn at Cedar Point is a hyper coaster. It goes 223 feet tall and drives straight down to Earth. And so the screen is getting really glitchy. So as you can see, this is Raptor at Cedar Point, and some of the other rides such as Millennium Force right here and Rougarou, and then the back, the suspended swinging coasters. The ride starts off with a giant chain lift, then an Immelman, then a mid-course break on a second dive into a dive loop, and then a 0G roll, and then into the brakes. So Valravn is an extremely fun roller coaster. It actually is probably, I'm going to say, the most intense B&M dive coaster, but you'll be the judge of that after this video is over. So the next one I'm talking about is Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego, because this is a one-of-a-kind dive coaster. Because it is at SeaWorld. It's actually the only dive coaster SeaWorld actually only has 6 seats across, which is really rare for some B&M dive roller coasters. It's also pretty fun. It's themed to penguins, and penguins are kind of fun. So it does have a handful of really fun inversions, such as a barrel roll, a corkscrew, and an Immelman. Actually, those are the only 3 barrel rolls. I also want to talk about one of the pretty intense ones. We have SheiKra at Busch Gardens Tampa. Now, SheiKra at Busch Gardens Tampa is an extremely fast, exhilarating ride, and it does feature a splashdown element that you don't see on many roller coasters. As you can see right here, that heads into a dive loop or whatever that is. So this one is actually 200 feet tall. It's another one of the hyper dive coasters. And the last one I want to talk about is Yukon Striker, because Yukon Striker is the tallest B&M dive coaster with a top height of 223 feet, same as Valravn, but it has a 245 foot drop, which makes this bigger and a lot badder. So the ride begins with a giant chain lift hill to the top. It's actually one of the only dive coasters that features a vertical loop, which is pretty rare on some dive coasters. So actually it exits the drop into what I believe some inversions, including this loop, and then into the mid-course break run, where it has a second dive. So it goes straight into a dive loop, and then into the barrel roll, and then the loop-de-loop, and then the Immelman, and then the mid-course break run, and then the second dive, and then everything. So this ride has basically got everything you could really want on a B&M dive coaster. So that's pretty much where today's video is going to wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this introduction to B&M dive coasters, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.